Good evening, dear sisters and brothers. Welcome to the evening session of Being Heartful Every Day with Swadhyaya. Tonight, we continue our deep dive into the profound theme of moderation. We have understood that moderation is not just about avoiding extremes, but about cultivating an inner balance that leads to a purer, more harmonious life. And we have been discussing that, it's the very essence of spirituality, a characteristic of nature itself. And today, let's explore how a life of moderation is a life of true freedom and inner contentment. In today's world, we often equate freedom with the ability to do whatever we want, whenever we want. But this kind of freedom often leads to a different kind of bondage, the bondage of desires and habits. When we are slaves to our impulses, we are not truly free. Moderation is the key to unlocking freedom. By practicing moderation, we are consciously choosing to not to be governed by our desires and external influences. We are reclaiming our inner power. This isn't about denying ourselves. It's about choosing a higher form of satisfaction. When we are free from the constant craving for more, we can truly appreciate what we have. This freedom from desire is the sense of a tranquil and contented mind, which is a key goal of our journey. The constant pursuit of more pleasure, more possessions, more external validations is a never ending race that leaves us feeling empty. A life of moderation, on the other hand, is a life of inner contentment. When we are balanced, we can find peace and joy even in the simple moments of life. We are no longer dependent on external things to make us happy. Our happiness comes from within, from the purity of the heart and the serenity of our mind. This inner contentment is a sign of the progress, of the inner transformation taking place. It shows that we are moving away from a life of fleeting gratification and toward a life of lasting peace. This is not a passive state, it's a profound and active state of gratitude for what is, that allows us to live with joy and appreciation regardless of our external circumstances. Dear sisters and brothers, we will now move towards the inspirational reading from the article. But before that, just a gentle request to please share the invitation of BHED sessions and Heartfulness masterclasses with your near and dear ones as well. So we resume the reading from the article Love in Action by beloved Daji. We have already covered a few sections, and now we resume from the science of molding our living. What is meant by mold your behavior and way of living? Take the example of a metallic object that is defective or not up to the mark. In the process of molding it, we first have to melt it down. This melting down is a metaphor for removing existing habits, breaking down mental and emotional patterns, and changing our belief systems. Once we break down those things of our own making, we can be remade in nature's mold. From a scientific perspective, this means reprogramming our fixed subconscious neural patterns so that neuroplasticity and adaptability develop in line with nature's principles. This happens through the removal of repetitive tendencies, behaviors, and habits. Let's say we have the habit of rudeness in our speech. The first step is to recognize it and want to change. As our speech becomes more and more polite, It will be noticed by others and they will change their behavior towards us. This will further motivate us to be polite until eventually it becomes part of our nature. This also changes our thinking. In turn, the neural patterns related to the rude speech are erased. But all this is made permanent when we remove the root cause of the patterns at the level of the subtle body through the practice of tea. Such changes in lifestyle involve all the earlier 8 principles: the daily practice of meditation, the practice of prayer to vacuumize the heart, having a focus on the highest goal, imbibing the universal values of simplicity, truthfulness, and kingship, accepting miseries and eschewing resentment and revenge, and being happy to eat what we receive with due regard to honest and pious earnings. These principles are the tools that shape our transformation, attracting the divine gaze. But the best is yet to come. When we mold our living in this way, we not only rouse feelings of love and piety in our fellow beings, we also begin to catch the divine attention. We become the cynosure of his eyes, in Babuji's words. And this is an essential step if we want to continue on the journey. As Babuji explains, divine help does come, no doubt, but only when the Supreme is convinced of the devotee's earnestness and purpose. I repeat, divine help does come, no doubt, but only when the Supreme is convinced of the devotee's earnestness of purpose. The Supreme Being also needs to have trust in us. Are we earnest, sincere, genuinely searching, and authentic? Otherwise, why would he fool around with us? Babuji's own master, Lalaji, explains it further in the book Truth Eternal. When we have lost all sense of our significance and are devoid of ego consciousness in any form, direct or indirect, then whatever we will do be just what we ought to be doing. This condition, if bestowed by God, is the best of all conditions. Then nature takes its place, inspiring ourselves and inspiring others. From experience, we know that we cannot inspire others unless we are inspired ourselves. Many people are inspired by wealth, fame, and prestige. Though there is nothing wrong with any of these, true seekers are not inspired by them, but simply accept them with gratitude when they come. It is not what we are seeking for. We are also not waiting for some profound prize or enlightenment in the distant future when we complete the journey. We are inspired by something immediate in the present, and you may be surprised by the answer. It is a condition bestowed in meditation, the gift of samadhi, oneness with God, that is the inspiration. There is a little taste of the divine each time we meditate. This is what inspires us to practice, and also what inspires us to live a simple and truthful life, treating everyone as kin. This is what inspires us to become the best version of ourselves in whatever we do, each and every day, so that it eventually becomes permanent. Dear sisters and brothers, it is time for the universal prayer and Friday 9 p.m. meditation with beloved Daji. Let us prepare ourselves. All Brothers and sisters, are being filled with love and devotion, and real faith is growing stronger in them. सभी भाई बहन प्रेम और भक्ति से भर रहे हैं और उनमें सच्ची श्रद्धा दृढ़ होती जा रही है। May this universal prayer awakens love in the hearts of all across the world. Dear sisters and brothers, as we conclude our day, let's take a few minutes or a few moments for offering the inner reflections and the bedtime prayer. Gently scan your day, examining it with a calm heart, and offer these reflections and your resolve in the prayer, surrendering your mistakes and seeking guidance for a better day ahead. Yes, sisters and brothers, thank you for joining us and for your dedication to this inner work that you undertake every day. We look forward to meeting you again tomorrow for the morning session at 6 a.m. Until then, wishing you all a very good night and a good rest. Thank you.